Morning. Caught me with my mouth full. I hope everything's good for you guys today. It is what is it? It's a Tuesday the 13th. I think that makes that day 9 for us on our 26 days of you. Did you do your gratitude statement this morning? I saw a couple of you on Facebook when I mentioned I was going to be on here. I know it's 7:33, right? 7:30-ish. Here we go. Well, today I'm going to try and stay on point. I do want to ask, some of you did comment. Excuse me. I got to stop eating breakfast in front of you guys. What cowboy trait did you come up with? Some people commented, that when things get a little rough, they just cowboy up. I like that one. And what does that mean? Cowboy up, what does it mean? A couple people did reach out to me and said, yeah, their manners and their grit come from some of the cowboys they like have seen, known. And that, across the board comes from war heroes and things like that as well. So I did get some responses, and we relate. We really do. So today what I want to talk about, and I wrote it down so I kind of stay focused for you guys, because I get in these moods where there's a ton of things to talk about, a ton. And I've been thinking about those things for weeks, sometimes months, maybe even years. So when I start to have a conversation, I'm about a mile ahead of everybody, and it's hard to catch up. I understand. So today, first things first, did you do your gratitude statement? And we asked that, and I jumped up this morning and got busy right away, and still had the feeling of gratitude. And so I stopped to recognize what exactly was I feeling. And I'm very grateful for where I live. And I've lived a couple different places in my life, and I've loved them all. And when you hear people hate where they live or want to move away from where they are, I have to stop and wonder if they haven't really taken the time to change how they respond to the environment that they're in, right? Because I know I've said it, as a kid, you start to grow up, or hopefully you grow up, but I remember, I can't wait to move away from this place. I can't wait to get out of here. And as a teacher, I witness that all the time, children, adolescents, young adults. God, I can't wait to move. I can't wait to get out of here. And it doesn't matter where they're going or where they're at. They just can't wait to go, right? And I remember I lived in a place whose, not motto, but kind of tagline at the time was Prescott, Arizona, everybody's hometown. And you don't really appreciate where you're at. Now, Prescott's a beautiful place. Prescott Valley is a growing location when I was there, and we wanted to get out. We had bigger plans, right? You couldn't be a rock star in Prescott Valley. You could, as a matter of fact, we were local rock stars, right, in Prescott Valley. But to get to Phoenix, Arizona, and be a rock star, that was the thing. So you move to Phoenix, you get to Phoenix, and to move to Los Angeles, Hollywood, and it was in the '80s, so that's what everybody did, and the sound was in the '80s. So let's go to Los Angeles and be a rock star. And you're always looking for the new place. Well, that's true to an extent, right? There are certain areas in the world where if you want to do what's taking place in that area, you should go, or you could go. No should. So I woke up this morning grateful for where I live. And to be honest with you, we've been talking about moving, for like 3 or 4 years. My wife and I, we discuss, what do you think we want to do in our old age? Well, we've come up with like 20 old age, right? We've come up with like 20 different ideas or 5 different ways of what we want to do. We've got kids all over the place. And we think about moving here or moving there, or buying 2 houses, here and there. And I say, I can't have 2 houses. I cannot put my stuff in 2 different places. I really can't do that. It drives me insane. Traveling. And I stopped and I thought about all that this morning, and I went, it's all a matter of perception. I think because I'm so happy and content with the way that I'm living now, and the way that I think and the way that I feel, I could be anywhere almost. in the United States. I could be anywhere in the United States and feel this way. I really do. And I'm grateful for that. So that was my gratitude statement this morning. I hope that reached out and touched some of you anyway. We talked about the cowboy in you, and I mentioned that some people chimed in and said, yeah, I cowboy up. Yeah, I got my manners and my morals, my grit. When you look at the cowboy, and I didn't get a lot of responses on if anybody had negative thoughts about the cowboy, or if anybody had, hardship thoughts about the cowboy. Excuse me. When you grow up in a big, well, I don't know, in school can be tough. And I talked to a few kids about this, and I remember when I was in school, believe it or not, you have cliques in school, right? You have the jocks, you have the theater group of people, you have the preppies, you have the cowboys where I was, you have the gang members, you have, they have these cliques of people that just get together and those affect you and your growth. Now I've got a granddaughter who's starting school at a different location this year, and I think she's in 8th grade. I forget these things. She's just grown up so fast, but to start a new school in a new state tomorrow, she's going to be put into these cliques and these groups, and she's going to search for the people that treat her the best. I think that's how it goes. And when you fall into a clique, the other cliques that are divided have a tendency not to like you. So did you experience that with the cowboy clique when you were growing up? And it probably had nothing to do with the people that were in there. It probably had everything to do with the people you surrounded yourself with. And these decisions about perception are where we're headed today. I had an experience I want to share with you about perception and people. Now let's go back to the cliques for a minute. Let's say from my experience in high school, we had these cliques. And there were cowboys and there were jocks and there were preppies and there were the theater groups and the stoners. And this was in the bigger city, not Prescott Valley. This was in Casa Grande. And I was born there and grew up with most everybody. As kids, you don't really have the cliques. You just have a bunch of kids. You have fun. You go, doesn't matter, color, race, creed, religion, whatever. You're just kids. You have fun. You go play marbles. You play little man. You run. You jump. You hit each other with a tether ball, and you have a good time. Well, I moved away, moved to Coolidge, and did some time there to junior high. When we moved back to Casa Grande for high school, for the first 2 years of high school, people had divided. Everybody I'd grown up with had divided and decided this is what clique they're going to be in, right? And whether they did it intentionally or whether society just did it for them, when I was there, I was still friends with people that were in all of the cliques. And I didn't click. I was a martial artist, and I did sports, not well. I told you this. I was terrible at basketball, but I played football really well, and I pole vaulted because I hated running, but I liked sports. I did plays because I loved doing that. So the drama. So I was in all of these cliques inadvertently through different people. There were people that I hung out with socially that had perceptions about all of the cliques. Oh, you shouldn't like those people because of this. You shouldn't like those people because of this, so on and so forth. And the cliques didn't like the people I hung out with. It wasn't anything on me. It was just the social demeanor of what was taking place. And I find that very interesting. And I know it happens. People are searching for themselves. Kids are looking for, an identity, and they reach out and try different things. Well, I think adults do that too. And we're going to talk about that. Today, we're going to exercise a little bit. We talk about exercising our body, and we pay more attention to our physical health than we do our mental, emotional, and intellectual health. And so today we're going to exercise our decision-making skills. Excuse me. And I want to give you a couple exercises on how to do that. And then I think we're going to do a little bit of law of attraction exercise too. So getting started here. I know that's a lot. And see what I'm talking about? I try to narrow it down. That's just a piece of what I have going on up here. All right. So the first exercise, decision-making skills. When we make decisions, and we can make decisions about anything, about how we see other people, about what we're going to do today, about what we want to do, decisions, right? We make them all the time. Decisions shape our destiny. I love that quote. Decisions shape our destiny. And we either make the decisions or we decide not to decide, right? I think it's Rush that said that. Even if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. So when you're faced with a big decision and you do all of your research and you ponder and maybe you're buying a house or whatever, it's a big decision and you're worried that you might make the wrong decision. The longer you postpone the decision, the worse it gets, because what's happening? You're pondering the improbable or the impossible or the not so, you know, not so realistic, and you might be worried so much that you're frozen in time and you don't make a decision. Hey, babe, and so you pause and you don't make the decision. So the longer you wait, the worse it gets, right? Now, I'm not saying make a quick decision based on nothing. You definitely need to do your research, get it done. Make a list of the things that are important to you, find out if that decision makes it, and then make the decision. The quicker you make the decision, the sooner you make it, the sooner you're going to know whether you were right or wrong. Now, I'm not talking about life, just, don't jump into huge decisions at life or death type stuff, but make a decision and if they're right or wrong. The more you do that, the better you get at it. The more you learn to trust your instincts. You're smart. The better you know yourself, and the more you know about the circumstances you're in and what you're willing to accept and the standards that you're raising, the better decisions you're going to make. Does that make sense? Because so your exercise is just to start making decisions and recognizing when you make them and you make them right. We have a tendency when we fail to focus on our failures instead of when we succeed to relish in the success. So today, for the rest of the week, if you can, notice little decisions that you might make that make a difference. And it can be simple little things like what you eat for breakfast and how you feel the rest of the day. We often, I feel like crap, I shouldn't have ate that, right? But how about, wow, today I changed my diet. I made the decision to eat healthier. I know what I'm doing and I feel good. I feel good. I felt great. Or think about yesterday, and what did you have yesterday? And how did you sleep last night? I made the decision to get up early this morning and work out. And I might be a little tired, but man, I feel pretty good. And the more you do that, the better it gets. So learn to make decisions like that. That's how we exercise our decisions. Okay. I would like for you to make a big decision, and we're going to talk about that at the end of this video. Okay. Perception. How we perceive things is everything. What meaning we give to whatever's taking place shapes our decisions. So, and you're in charge. You're in control of that. What does this mean when it happens? What does it mean to you, and how are you going to handle it, and how do you respond to it? That's up to you. So, here's the story. And this happened about 3 weeks ago, and then again a week ago, and then roughly, I'll just say this: my reticular activating system fired up yesterday when I heard a story and I went back to, what? This happens across the board. And I recognized all of the times this happened. So this is what took place. 3 weeks ago, not yesterday. I'll come back to it. We had a person within our circle, and our circle is pretty large, who lost somebody. They died. Okay. And this person was older that died, and they're going to die. We're all headed in one direction sooner or later, right? And when they died, this is what happened. This individual I'm speaking of knew this person very well. And 3 people were talking about it, including the person that I'm discussing. And 2 of the people didn't really care for the person who died. Didn't care for them. But the person I know knew them most of their life and really, really enjoyed that person's company. Well, the two people continued to speak about he was really this way and he was really that way, and this was terrible and this was terrible. And I don't know how well they knew this person. It didn't seem very well, but the one that did know them knew them totally different, knew this person totally different. And what happened that kind of threw me off was the one person who felt that this person was a good individual and really liked spending time with them didn't stand up and say, no, you guys are wrong. The opposite happened. This person was swayed into, yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah, it was terrible. Oh, yeah, I remember that. And because I remember talking, and I didn't say anything because it's not my business, not my place, right? But the perception that this one person had grew over the years of knowing this person was changed to the negative like that by peer pressure. And I can't say for sure it was peer pressure. I did not really know this person, but I knew that this one person felt fondly of them, and now they don't. I didn't get it. Then my reticular activating system yesterday started going, well, how about this situation? I don't watch the news anymore, but let's say you're watching the news and somebody you know or knew was arrested. And people on the news are found this book in their house and we did this and this is what we found out about this person. And they got like 4 or 5 little things on this person that are not positive. And you go, and you used to like them. You used to think they were a great person. And all of a sudden, well, yeah, can you believe that? I never thought. And you're quick to believe the negative crap that's being spewed about them. Are you guilty of that? I tried to wonder if I am, and I can't come up with a time, but I was intrigued by the thought that people are willing to believe the negative before they're willing to stand up for the positive. And it's perception. And I'm curious, and I'm going to do, as a sociologist by hobby, sociologist by hobby, I'm going to look more into it and see if I can look on both sides and find directions. But our perception is everything, and our decisions, are based on our perception. So I think it's something we should practice and we should work on. And I don't know, you tell me what you think. I'd love for you guys to talk. And so really my question for me is society, because right now it's why is society, but is really that way? Is society more willing to believe the negative, even though you know different, to fall in line with the masses than they are to stand up for what they believe as an outsider? You're one of 50 that believe no, and the other 50 are making crap up and it's perpetuating. And maybe they have one thing that they're dwelling on and they're digging into it and they attack this person and they attack because it makes them feel better. Wow, and my head just went to, I don't talk politics or religion on here, but I went to the division in our country right now with people are trying to split us apart. They're trying to divide us. They really are. If you pay attention, you see the division. It's going to take me a while to ponder all this stuff and put it all together. But so I wanted you to notice that because I noticed it. It was interesting. All right. So law of attraction. I see people jumping on and off here. I'm good with that. I miss you guys, though. I wish you would come on and spend some time with me. But I understand life is busy, and I'm long-winded. So here we go. We're going to have an exercise now, the law of attraction. What I want you to do, did I cover everything I wanted to? It's good enough. What I want you to do on top of your decision-making skills. So the rest of the week, I want you to notice the decisions that you make and how they change for the positive. I don't want you to think about the bad stuff or dwell on the decisions that are, turn out wrong. You notice the things you do wrong so that you don't make that that choice later, right? But this week, I want you to notice on the positive decisions, okay? And move forward with those. And now I'm going to give you an exercise for law of attraction, and I'm going to ask you to make a big decision. Don't do it now, especially if you're driving or you're listening to this at work. Come back to it, look at it again, and remind yourself of this. Okay. I want you to think of something that you want to change or that you want to have in your life. Something big. I'm talking the holy shit moment. I want you to think of something gigantic, but it has to be realistic. Okay. It has to be something that you feel can or needs to happen. We talk about diet, we talk about exercise, and everybody wants to get on board. Well, let me tell you something. When you think about it, it's a dream. When you talk about it, it might be a plan. When you schedule it, it becomes a reality. It's real. When you show up, it's power. Let me say that again. When you think about it, it's a dream. When you talk about it, it's a plan. When you schedule it, it becomes real. Okay? And when you show up, it's power. So I want you to come up with a decision to do it, to have it, to make it real. And it can be something you want, a new house, a new car, a better relationship, whatever. I don't, whatever you want. It can be physical, it can be tangible, whatever you want, okay? Or something you want to change. I want to change the way I feel or look, or I want to change my habits, or I want to change whatever. Make it large, okay? And make it realistic. Something you believe you can do. I'm not going to say any limits on it. I'm going to leave it at that. This is how I want you to exercise it every day. And you can do it before you get up, or you can do it when you go to bed at night. I find those are the best times, but you can put it anywhere you want. I want you to stop. Again, either before you go to bed or when you wake up. These are the best times because there's no distractions. Close your eyes and feel that whatever it is you want is already yours. You need to use that childhood imagination where it is so real. You can touch it, taste it, see it, feel it. Listen, don't naysay this. Do it. Okay, it's not hokum. It's not some delusional wish. It's up here, and I want you to feel it in here, and I want you to manifest it out here. Do it for at least 90 seconds. If you can do it for longer, if you can do it on your way to sleep and dream about it, perfect, right? But do it. Then, when you open your eyes, I want you to attach gratitude to that feeling of something you already have in that direction or that pertains to that. For instance, you want a new house. Okay, you want a new house, you want to remodel your house, and you feel it, and you feel how it would feel to walk around in that house and what it looks like and where every room is and what that new house smells like and how you can entertain people or seclude yourself in that new house. And then when you open your eyes, you show gratitude for the house that you already have, the home that you're already in, the feelings that you already have, the people you already have in your life, and blend those two feelings. Power. And then schedule it and show up. I want this by this date and make it real. It's going to happen on this date. This is when it's going to take place. And you let it go and you work toward it. And you pay attention to every opportunity that moves your way toward the attainment, or toward getting that goal, whether it's the house, your body, a relationship, a new job, whatever it is, you pay attention. And it will be provided for you. It really will. It's out there. All you've got to do is set your reticular activating system to go. Anything is possible. Don't settle for anything less. You want a good story about mindset and being focused on your outcome. And I heard this again last night. I've heard it 3 or 4 times. Listen to Sylvester Stallone's story of when he sold the screenplay of Rocky, and how he sold his dog because he was starving and he couldn't take care of the dog anymore, and how he got it back. He knew what he wanted and he went after it. Listen to the story of Sylvester Stallone and Rocky, and it's awesome. Not the movie Rocky. It's about the movie Rocky, but that's not the story I'm talking about. It's his story on how he went from nothing as a screenwriter actor to the role of Rocky. He actually wrote that script. All right. I love you guys. I'm going to get out of here and jump. We'll talk tomorrow again. Please respond. Let me know what you're thinking. If you like what we're doing, share the videos. If you're not embarrassed, okay, share them with your friends, put them on your Facebook page, whatever it is, and ask people to come and join us and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And we're going to go forward with, the more people we get, the more things we can talk about, because I'll ask, like I do with you, what do you want to talk about? And we'll continue this law of attraction journey as we move forward. Okay, guys, I love you. Stay focused. If you're doing the fitness challenge with me, I'll jump on later this afternoon and cue you in on that, but we're going to keep them separate. Okay. Have a fantastic day.